Hi, I'm Lacey for those of you who don't remember. And normally I would have filmed this earlier in the week and just now be posting it, but I have been sick, and that's, if you're wondering, that's why I sound so stuffy and everything. I haven't been feeling well since Tuesday, so I'm feeling better now, but I still sound stuffed up, so I'm gonna just work with that. So this week's topic is about coming out. I guess more to ourselves, but I know some people have talked vaguely about coming out to other people as well. Um, it's interesting as I was watching Lewis's video, and I know for some people, for a lot of people, coming out is a very traumatic experience, a very uplifting experience, it's getting weight off your shoulders, and coming out absolutely was a weight off my shoulders, but not in the way that it is for most people, and it wasn't also the traumatic event that it is for a lot of people. I am blessed with the fact that I am very close to my immediate family, especially my parents. My mother was, I do believe, the first person I ever came out to. And I've been questioning my sexuality since I was about 13, but I never really discussed it. I was always kind of uncertain, and it just, when you're bisexual, it's different. People treat you differently than if you are simply lesbian, if you're simply straight. But that's a whole nother topic. So I didn't come out to my mother until I was about 16, 17 years old, and I think I think it was maybe in my senior year of high school. So yeah, you can see how tremendous it was. I can't remember the day, the weather, nothing. And I told her, I've been talking to her about it, but I told her very definitively one day that I am bisexual, that I like men and I like women, and I told her to make it very clear that it would be just as likely, if not more likely, for me to end up walking down the aisle one day with a woman than it would be with a man. And she was completely accepting. She said she wasn't surprised. She thought I was. It wasn't. And I think we went back to whatever we were doing. Um, yeah, I did a video, the last vlog, whatever you want to call it, that I did was actually during my senior year of high school, and I was talking to people back then about the fact that I could have come out in high school. Well, I didn't have friends in high school, and I'm not joking. I didn't have a circle of friends, and even to this day, I have trouble making friends. I'm a loner. I have a hard time fitting in with people my own age, which in college, yeah, you have some age variety, but you're still pretty much stuck with your own peers. Can't get along with your own peers, don't have a very big circle of friends. The same held true in high school, and I decided I don't care about coming out. There's no one who I really care to tell, and it's not really going to affect my social status no matter what. And I really felt, and I still feel, like it's no one's business. There's this assumption in our world still that you're automatically straight unless you say otherwise. You have to come out to be some other sexuality, which is complete bullshit, because from the day we're born, it is very well likely that we will always like men, we will always like women, we will always like both. Heck, you consider Doctor Who and everything, we will always like aliens. But there is this assumption, despite all of that, that you have to come out if you are anything but straight. And I feel like it's no one's business. I'm who I am, and it doesn't change anything. And I'm weird regardless, so it's fine. So I sent an email to people sometime last year. Again, you can tell how tremendous it was. I can't remember exactly when. And I didn't send it to everyone because my immediate family is very supportive. My younger brother is 14 and is going through that whole homophobic stage, so he doesn't really understand, but he's also my 14-year-old brother, so I really don't care. My older siblings, my sister doesn't understand it. She doesn't see what I see in women, but she loves me. And I've never talked about it to my brother, but he is very liberal. The only thing is he is married to a woman who I adore. She's wonderful. She is definitely a sister, but she is very Christian, and that's going to be interesting come the day that if I am with a woman, what her reaction will be. And I don't know what that'll be, and yeah, we'll see. So I sent out this email to a lot of different people. I didn't even bother sending out to my conservative relatives because as much as my aunts and uncles are important to me, they're not that important. What really matters to me is the other adult figures in my life who are important. My close friends from my gap year, my immediate family. My extended relatives don't like me because of my sexuality. Well, that's just too bad. And I was overwhelmed by the response I got. I think I got 10 different letters back saying that it didn't change who I was, that they still loved me, that they were proud of me, and I had been expecting that. I mean, I hadn't been expecting the overwhelming response that I got, but I wasn't expecting people to disown me, to shun me, and they didn't. The people who are important in my life are important for a reason. And so I've been blessed with the fact that my coming out has been very underwhelming in a very good way. And I'm happy for that. I feel sad and frustrated with the fact that so many people's coming out has to be this thing, and that we have to come out at all. That it can't just be assumed that people have different sexualities from the time we hit puberty. It should be an accepted fact, just like the fact that we have different colored skin, that we might decide to cut our hair, we might decide to wear, boys' clothes. It's the backwardness of our country astounds me sometimes. Yeah, and I think just to touch briefly on coming out to ourselves. I've gone through back and forth. I've questioned it, like I said, since I was 13. And by the time I was 13, I pretty much knew. I already had a crush on a girl. And for a while, like I said, I thought I really was lesbian. But there have been boys, I shouldn't say men because finding men is impossible. There have been guys who I have been attracted to, who I have liked. So it's definitely not either or, but it's definitely leaning more towards girls. And I think a big part of this is simply that girls are more mature. Guys, because they're not men yet, will wait another 5, 6, 7 years before guys are men. I think it'll be interesting to see down the road if I find myself more attracted to men, since they will be more on par with my maturity level. No offense, guys. So yeah, I think that's all for today. Oh, I want to talk about Day of Silence really quickly. I'm sorry if this is going too long. I encourage all of you to not do Day of Silence. And I know you're all going to be shocked by that. I had a teacher in high school who asked me because I was doing it one day, and I told him, and he said, why do a day of silence if you're trying to get people to notice you? And I know that I understand the idea of Day of Silence. I understand it. I understand the principle behind it. It's the same principle as the Day of Absence for the African American community. But, and especially for people who are quiet, being silent doesn't make people notice you. I promise. It doesn't. And so, okay, you say, well, I'm going to wear all my rainbow flamboyant stuff. If you're going to wear your rainbow and flamboyant stuff, be flamboyant then. Be as gay as possible. Sing Broadway songs. Dance around the hallways. Tell queer jokes. I feel like the Day of Silence thing has worn itself down. It's outdated. It's not doing its purpose, especially in the Midwest and places where people just look at you and go, they don't care. They don't notice. Be as gay and as loud as possible on the Day of Silence. That's my vote, my suggestion. I don't have class today. I'm not going anywhere. So me being loud and flamboyant is kind of out of the picture. But for all of you who are going out, I would suggest it. Anyway, I guess that's all. Thanks for watching. See you next week.